competing reports or historical data.
Huge data set.
Exactly. But today, we're taking all of our focus, all of our analytical tools, and we're applying them to a single source, a remarkably rich piece of poetry.
It's a really interesting opportunity to experience information in a different way. Our entire source is this excerpt from the Silver Cascade of Delight. It's by Kalinar Jaya from Tiruvannamalai in Trichy.
Right.
And it's really just a dense, beautiful meditation on witnessing a waterfall.
Yeah. And our mission here is pretty simple. We aren't just here to translate the words. We want to dissect the mechanism. We want to know how the poet uses these really specific sensory metaphors, the sights, the sounds, to essentially provide a complete user manual for mental and emotional renewal.
That's precisely it. We're looking beyond just the scenery to the psychological engineering behind it.
I like that, psychological engineering.
Yeah, how does this vivid sensory language actually create a transformation? This poem, it promises that the raw knowledge of finding peace, it's embedded directly in how we observe nature.
So let's start right at the top then, the very first perception. The poet frames the waterfall not as some random geographic event, but as an act of generosity.
It's immediately set up as a benevolent, a purposeful offering. The waterfall is called a sweet gift from the
Sweet gift.
Yes, a deliberate gift from the mountain peak. And that establishes this vital context. The source, the mountain, is this place of permanence and power. And its gift is inherently positive.
That's fascinating to me. It's not just water running off a cliff. It's a downward flow of grace.
It is.
But the poet doesn't stop there with the giver. He gives agency to the river itself, the result of that flow.
Yes, and this is such a profound inversion of roles. The river is doing more than just crashing down. The poet says the river sings the great praise, or the totem of the earth.
It sings the praise of the earth, the ground it's falling onto.
The ground. Exactly.
Exactly.
So the destination, the recipient of the flow, is being celebrated by the flow itself. It's this continuous dynamic cycle of giving and receiving.
Where both sides are celebrated.
Exactly.
It just paints this picture where every single element of the ecosystem, the peak, the water, the earth, is actively communicating gratitude. And if you think about it, it suggests that even a chaotic downward path, like a waterfall, can still be an act of praise.
It absolutely can. And the human response to this is immediate. It's purely sensory. The sight is so powerful, it makes your eyes widen.
An involuntary reaction.
Completely involuntary. It's like your mind just can't process the scale fast enough, so your body helps out.
You're right. It's not an intellectual appreciation at first. It's physical awe. The scene is so impactful that the description says it literally tells a poem. And it's a poem. Nature is communicating directly. There's no need for a human intermediary.
And this immediate sensory capture, it leads to an immediate infusion of feeling. Happiness or joy, it doesn't just bubble up slowly. It's sprinkled or poured right into the mind.
So it's an active input.
A deliberate, ongoing input, yeah. Mm-hmm. The sheer force and beauty of the origin of that initial contact, it just sets the stage for a total psychological shift.
Okay, so the initial phase is defining the waterfall as this benevolent gift that sings the praise of the world, and that results in an immediate sensory overload and an infusion of happiness. But a waterfall is inherently chaotic, isn't it?
It is.
That has to be the pivot point for the second section.
It is, absolutely.
Yeah.
If the first section establishes let's say, the static beauty and the origin, the next part dives right into the kinetic energy, the necessary chaos that sparks a profound reaction. The poet focuses on the running river water and the exact moment it undergoes a sudden overturn. Overturning, the crash, the fall, that physical disruption, that's where the deep dive into the mind really begins. Mm-hmm. If renewal is the goal, the poet seems to be suggesting that the path there sometimes requires a shock, a sudden energetic disruption.
Precisely. And this sudden action, it doesn't cause fear or shock in a negative way. The mind immediately rejoices. We see happiness blossom.
It's concluding.
It's not just a quiet smile then. It's energetic.
It's a hugely energetic visual metaphor. You have to picture a flower of joy just unfolding rapidly in your mind, mirroring the energy of the water.
That dynamic mirroring is so crucial. The external violence of the overturn is matched by this internal eruption of joy. But then the poet takes it even deeper, right? He describes a reaction that's both physical and private.
Yes, this is one of the most intimate moments in the poem. This sudden action causes an unknown thrill. Can I go, my God?
An unknown thrill.
It's a feeling you can't quite classify. It's thrilling, but it's foreign. And the result of this unknown thrill is a smile in the heart.
A smile in the heart. That suggests the deepest level of satisfaction is entirely internal. It's hidden.
It's not for anyone else.
Right. You're not smiling with your face for others. The joy is purely for the self. It's this profound, private acknowledgement of beauty. I wonder, though, how does he bridge that visceral feeling with, pure conceptual thought?
That's where you get the most potent metaphor in this section. This private joy leads to a realization of just boundless beauty, which the poet describes by calling the Waterfall an unwritten poem. An unwritten poem. That's such a powerful phrase. It contains all the potential of art without the limitations of structure or specific words.
Exactly.
It's pure, unbound inspiration just shining out of the water.
It implies that the most profound beauty is found in nature, untouched, untranslated by human effort. It's that moment where potential is actually more powerful than fulfillment.
The promise of 1,000 verses rolled into one shimmering cascade. You got it. And because it's unwritten, it's constantly being renewed. Every single droplet, every flicker of light is a new potential line. And this beauty provides high spirits or elation.
So it's a mechanism of continuous upliftment, derived from potential energy. It really sounds like the waterfall is acting as a catalyst for creative and emotional energy.
It is. The shift is complete. The water's dynamic movement has become a metaphor for the mind's dynamic, joyous response. So we've gone from the sweet gift to the intimate internal smile.
And now?
Now we move into the spectacle, the sheer sensory intensity that earns this piece its title.
This has to be the crescendo. The previous sections set the stage. They dealt with the internal response. Now we're fully submerged in the sensory experience of overwhelming awe.
We are. And the poet begins by blending the auditory and the visual. You hear and see the combined effect of foam and bubbles, creating this sense of joy or amusement.
And the energy is so intense it spills out of the individual.
It has to.
This is where the shared human experience comes in, right? The awe is infectious. People aren't just standing there quietly contemplating it. They're actively clapping hands. It composites the major confide.
Yes. Due to the overflowing well-being or bliss, the energy demands a release. It becomes this communal moment of ecstasy.
This collective physical reaction, the clapping, it's a testament to the undeniable force of nature's beauty. It's that moment where analysis just stops.
And pure, joyful celebration takes over. The high point of the poem, the real peak, is a specific visual metaphor that captures the ultimate sense of value and majesty.
The moment where the mind stops seeing water and starts seeing something else entirely.
Yes. The mind is struck with wonder. It poses the central question of the entire poem. Is silver pouring down?
And that's it. That's the silver cascade.
That's it. It transforms the mundane element of water into liquid wealth, something shimmering, pristine, and immensely valuable.
I want to spend a moment on that. The silver metaphor. Why silver? It's not just white foam. Silver suggests purity, status, light, and an inherent tangible value. The poet is implying that the experience of this waterfall is psychologically enriching. It's a wealth of spirit.
That's a wonderful way to put it. It takes the observation out of the realm of mere description and places it firmly in the realm of existential value. The waterfall is a stream of pure, priceless vitality.
The mind is so overwhelmed by the sight, it has to assign it the highest material worth it can imagine.
It does. And that intensity doesn't just stay mental. It translates into a physical, a somatic response. The text says it causes a vibrancy that continues to spread throughout the person.
Making the mind vibrate. I can fond for what you know.
That vibration is the final stage of awe. It's not a shaky fear. It's a joyful, energetic frequency running through your entire being.
It sounds like an electrical charge.
It's like the encounter with true, immense beauty recalibrates you. It literally changes the vibrational state of your physical and psychological self.
An infusion of pure, undiluted vitality that hits you right down to your core. So, okay, we've established the flow, the thrill, the awe, the physical vibration. Now we have to address the ultimate purpose. Why did the poet highlight this waterfall as a tool for health?
Right. We now shift from experience to utility. The poet steps back and he contextualizes the waterfall, not as some random act, but as a result of nature's design.
An intentional structure.
Created by the environment.
And what's the intention behind this beautiful design? It's not just for, irrigation or erosion. It's a specific psychological purpose aimed at the observer.
The intention is twofold. First, to delight viewers, and second, and this is the most crucial part, to remove mental fatigue.
Ay, que me tane, Amy.
He's explicitly stating that this cascade is a natural mechanism for psychological repair.
Nature's therapist. That makes the poem a prescription. It's arguing that if you expose yourself to this type of awe, the fatigue is removed. It's not just temporarily masked, it's actively lifted away.
It's a very strong assertion that nature provides these built-in mechanisms whose function is to restore human psychological balance. And it's not a one-off fix. The waterfall skillfully performs what he calls eternal renewal.
Eternal renewal.
And that choice of words, eternal, suggests the renewal is cyclical, it's sustainable, and it's perfectly integrated into the world's constant rhythm.
So the cascading water is a metaphor for the constant washing away and rebuilding of the spirit, a sustainable cycle we can tap into. But, many of us can't visit this specific cascade in Trichy every time we feel mental fatigue. So what's the ultimate application of this knowledge?
And this is the genius of the final few lines. The poet recognizes that physical presence isn't always possible, but the power of the image remains.
The shortcut.
Exactly. The ultimate takeaway is that the memory, the conceptual framework that's been established by this vivid poetry, that is enough. Merely thinking about the waterfall, just recalling the cascade and the silver, it fills the entire garden of the mind, the kamantana, with joy. Yes. The knowledge and the image are themselves the tools for refreshment.
That is profound. Kalinar Jaya doesn't just describe a beautiful scene. He hands us a portable internal engine for renewal. By focusing on those powerful sensory components, the river singing praise, the silver pouring down, you're recalling the full body vibration and the psychological shift.
The memory is functional. We've seen a seamless progression here, from establishing the scene as a sweet gift, to how chaos breeds intimate joy, to the awe of the silver illusion, and finally to the takeaway that this mechanism is designed for internal renewal, and it can be activated simply by thought.
The poem distills this vast emotional and psychological experience into highly specific, usable metaphors.
It does.
The strength is truly in the specificity of the language, isn't it? The sudden overturn leading to the smile in the heart, the illusion of liquid wealth replacing water, and that final image of joy filling the garden of the mind. That memory isn't just a pleasant thought.
No, it's a source of active internal vitality.
Yeah.
And that leads to a final thought for you, for the listener, to consider based on this source material.
Okay.
If just the memory of this single beautiful scene, this poetic description of a waterfall, is powerful enough to cultivate a garden of the mind and provide eternal renewal, what simple recurring images or specific moments from your own life could you select right now? What personal sight, sound, or detail can you recall that is so potent it serves as your immediate personal source of that full body vibration and internal smile?
That's the knowledge the poet has given us.